Sorry, in the last video, guys, I forgot to say Happy New Year, Happy New Decade. This is a decade that we're going to make stacks of money. Myself and a friend of mine are bringing out a new venture, so stay tuned. We're going to be releasing something in the next week or so, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to make everyone a lot of money. Okay, so how do we trend? Last video we did, we said let's set up a simple trend trading chart. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to talk about VSA. My normal thing is VSA. I'm just going to talk about trend trading and how to use the bars within the charts to show us if the smart money is buying or selling. I want to try and keep it a little bit more simple than normal. Normally I use a Trade Guider plugin for my software, but I want to keep it because not everyone can afford it. I'm trying something a bit different. I want to use something that everyone can use, and so I'm just going to talk about a few things in here. Okay, so this is the Bollinger Band standard settings, like we said in the last chart. These are the pivot points. This is the daily pivot point. This is called the R1, the R2, and up here we have the R3, and this is the S1, the S2, and the S3. Okay, so these are kind of normally the rule is if we're above the daily pivot point, we're looking for buys. If we're below the daily pivot point, we're looking for sells. Okay, it's normally that simple. It's kind of simple Simon rule number one, daily pivot point. We're above it, we're looking for buys. We're below it, we're looking for sells. Okay. Number two. Okay. Trade trending. Trade trending. It's late. I've been up since early. Trading trends. Try saying that. Try drinking 15 vodkas and saying that quickly. Trading trends. Okay. So basically, it's very simple. If the price is above the middle Bollinger Band, you're buying dips. If the price is below the middle Bollinger Band, you're selling rallies. So simple. If it starts dancing around the Bollinger Band like here, and the Bollinger Band goes flat like here, you stay out. Okay? So let's have a look at that. So here on Thursday, we had a gap up. We're above the Bollinger Band on the 30, right? And we were just squeaking above the Bollinger Band on the 1 hour. Ultimately, you're looking for trends in the same direction on the 60, the 30, and the 15. So here we had above the Bollinger Band on the 30, so we're looking for buys, okay? So let's actually see what happened in here. This is 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning on this chart is the open of the Euro session, okay? So what normally there, we plot behind the low, all right? It's the open range now, yeah? So normally when we get the open range here of the Euro session, 10 o'clock, we like to have a. Sorry, I just was distracted. Something coming in there on the mail. We like to kind of see what's going on. So when we have an open range bar set here, because we're above the Bollinger Band, we are looking for buys and breakouts of the open range. We're looking, because this gap didn't try and close at the open, we're looking for breakouts of the open range, okay? So here's the breakout, then we come down, and here, if you notice this bar here, closed on the lows, it closed off the lows, right? So we had this down bar, next bar, didn't close above here, but it closed off the lows. This is what's called in VSA, it's called a test bar, okay? That volume, not wow, but it was lower volume. Means there's no selling pressure. You see it's a little bit lower than that one, okay? So that means there was no selling pressure. That's a test in the market. So we could have bought in here, a little bit higher risk trade, or we could have bought in here, 13352, okay? 13352, the price went up to 113,440. So that trade there would have made a nice little 60-point trade on the DAX on Thursday, okay? So that's a test in a rising market. The trend is up, yeah? Okay. The next one, Friday. So what happened Friday? Wham. US attacked Iran. Price fell below the Bollinger Band, Woke up in the morning, price is below the pivot. So what are we doing? We're looking for sells, yeah? And here, this one here, we came down, we tried to go up. Look how that closed, a little bit off the lows, next bar down. This is a bearish setup. You had a confirmation on this bar. Okay, it's in Asia at 8:30. Okay, so even if we have an up bar like there, we got a bit of demand. You see how this one here, he closed off the lows. That's a bit of demand, but the trend is still down. So what are we doing? We're looking to buy this bar? No, of course not. We've got weakness here in the background. We're trending down. We're below the daily pivot. We've got sellers here. We've got sellers here. So one bar doesn't mean we're buying, okay? So what a lot of people forget in VSA is they think the one bar is the action bar. No, the background is what's important. So, you know, what is the background? Well, here we can see already something from the day before, the highest volume bar from the day before, which is right where we are now, yeah? So we could have sold below this bar in Asia, which is exactly where I sold. I sold early and I put my stop above the middle pivot point here, okay? Some people like to keep the stop tighter, but with DAX they can fire it up, kiss this and then move it down again. So, you know, I put it just above this bar actually. So I got in on this bar, put my stop above that bar, yeah? And then lo and behold, boom, 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 very nice gap close trade, yeah? Very simple, there's the gap close, and then from there we bounce because already DAX have moved 300 points, which is double the daily range for DAX. So, you know, that's the trade for Friday using trend, yeah? Okay, very simple, applies to everything. I'm just going to move gold in on the same video, okay? There we have the uptrend. You know what, you don't want to sell that. Okay, we got some selling here, some selling here. We came down, we retested this middle Bollinger Band. This area here actually gave a very nice trade on Friday. I took this trade at 15.47, just above the R3. Normally when you get to the R3, it means your daily ranges are extended. It's not a brilliant trade, but you know, we had some particularly bad news. So, and lo and behold, we went up and closed on the high of the day. So although this wasn't a wow trade, it still made some decent money, yeah? And we're just trading with the trend. It's very simple. So the trend on the gold, the 1 hour is up, the 4 hour is up, the daily is up, yeah? It's all up. The weekly is up, yeah? So, you know, why we're trying to, you know, we got weekly, daily up, 4 hour up, 1 hour up. So what are we doing? We're looking to trade anything that where this price moves. Normally the 15s, unless it's in a very solid trend, is difficult. Normally the 30 and the 1 hours are good for trend trading using Bollingers. You can trade it using a 5-minute chart, right? Like for example here, we had this supply entering the market here. I wouldn't have sold it there, but you know, you might have sold it if it passed down through here. But ultimately, because what? The trend is up on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minutes. So what am I doing on the 5 minutes? I'm looking for selling? No, I'm looking to buy, yeah? So here it is, bam, up we come. So here, probably, yep, that's a low volume bar, okay, just there. Then we had a reversal back up. You could have put a buy order just above that bar, 1548.5. So 40 pip scalp, bloody brilliant, nice and easy. Look at that, lovely trend, dung 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 on a 5-minute chart, okay? So this is how we trade. 10-minute charts, yeah. 10-minute chart a little bit more choppy, kind of went choppy in the US session, but here was very clear. Test. Either one of these you could have bought off the trend. Test. So you know, that's also a test. See how it closed off the lows. This is we went down, reversed back up. So in a trend, we're testing the middle Bollinger Band here. You could have put a buy stop above there with the stop below there. That would have been a 1541 entry with a 1549 trade. So that would have made a really good trade, this one here. You know, that would have a beauty trade. Really good one. If you did just that trade in the whole day on Friday, it would make money. So that's trading in trends, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my regular charts, and I'm going to talk about some of the market action coming up for the next couple of days. What my trading plan is. Okay.